Good afternoon and welcome to News Now. Our dedicated team of journalists, reporters and correspondents have gathered enough news for you at this particular hour. But first, let's take a look at the highlights.
The highlights. Education PS Belio Kipsang announces an investigation into the recent incidents affecting the current KCSE examinations as the monitoring of the exams turns deadly.
Investigations are on to know exactly the motive, what exactly happened.
And Mainanjenga case delayed following protests over police presence, with 10 people arrested over the protests. Also, a teacher has died after being struck by helicopter blades while picking up KCSE examination papers in Ijara, Garissa.
Got involved in an accident where one deputy head teacher, Ahmed Nur Ismail, was hit on the head by the rear rotor.
Welcome once again. My name is Hibak Said. To start us off, 2 elderly people have been, or rather, drowned last night, and 1 died in a helicopter accident as floods continue to wreak havoc in Garissa County. Now, the 2 bodies were recovered this morning and the police have taken over the case. Confirming the 2 incidents, Garissa Acting County Commissioner Solomon Chesut said that the 2 were trying to cross flooded roads when they were swept away. He called members of the public to stop attempting to cross flooded roads, rivers and valleys, saying that the enhanced El Niño rains is posing huge dangers to human lives in flood-prone areas. Let's take a look at that. Elsewhere, Education PS Belio Kipsang has announced that investigations have been initiated in some of the fatal incidents witnessed during the alleged killing by a gang while transporting examination papers to Siaya County. Further, he expressed his apologies to the teachers injured in Wajir following a helicopter crash. Meanwhile, with the exams expected to be completed this week, the PS noted that the cases of cheating in exams have increased this year and that the suspects who were caught involving themselves in examination malpractice are expected to be investigated before legal action is taken. He also pointed out that the results of the Class 8 examinations, that is the KCPE, will be ready before Christmas.
Yesterday, we had a challenge. We lost a colleague, a police officer in Siaya. Investigations are on to know exactly the motive, what exactly happened. And therefore, I will not want to go into details, but I know that our colleagues in the investigative sector and the security sector are seized of the issue, and we should be able to know exactly what happened. But we want to celebrate that officer because he paid the ultimate price while on duty to be able to co-create our children by ensuring that the safety of our children and the safety of the examination is
Moving on, the trial of the former Mungiki leader Mainanjenga together with 11 other CQ's accused persons for crimes they allegedly committed in Bahati Sub-County proceeded for the second day at the Nakuru Law Courts and will continue on Wednesday. Now, according to the ruling, Nakuru Principal Magistrate Kipkirui Kipbelion, in his ruling, gave directives expected to be followed in the next hearing session on Wednesday, following disruptions and several adjournments of the case. police. Now, the directives are the matter shall proceed in a public field where members of the public will follow the proceedings. There shall be an extra space and a screen mounted for the public to follow the proceedings, and it shall be the duty of the police to ensure orderliness within the courtroom. Now, the police shall ensure there is ease of access to court, and no accused person shall be denied access to court.
Delayed. I move to E. The purpose and principles of this Constitution shall be protected and promoted. Under Article 161, in exercise of judicial authority, the judiciary as constituted by Article 161 shall be subject only to this Constitution and the law and shall not be subject to control or direction of any person or authority. The above provisions are in simple language and they are unambiguous. It is against this backdrop that I operate. It is worth stating that these are judicial proceedings whose authority is as above derived. In execution of this mandate, and with strong bias to criminal proceedings as in the instant case, the judiciary plays a pivotal role in the justice process. It though does not act in isolation, it corroborates with other agencies, but with strong need of preserving its independence. In relation to this case, I must state that the volume of rulings that have been done in the instant case constitutes more than 10 times the volume of the substantive proceedings respecting the substantive case. I must state that I have interacted with the charge sheet and indeed taken the proceedings of PW1. Regrettably, I find nothing unusual about this case. It has been unnecessarily hyped. There is clearly nothing peculiar in this case to deserve the attention it is receiving. There is clearly nothing peculiar in this case to deserve the attention it is receiving. It is not now, but since its inception. The manner of proceeding adopted in the instant case is a public hearing. This mode permits the presence of members of the public at the trial. This is in consonance with the accused's right to public trial before court as enshrined under Article 52D of the Constitution. A threat to that right.
Elsewhere, doctors in Vihiga County have given a 7-day notice to the county governor, Dr. Wilbur Otichilo, to solve the challenges they are facing at work, failure to which they will officially go on a strike. Speaking at the governor's office in Mbale after the meeting between the two sides failed to take place, the leaders of the doctors' union in the western region, led by Joseph Makomere, accused Governor Otichilo of ignoring them. Among the issues raised by KMPDU leaders are poor salaries and the county government's failure to officially recognize the various health experts in the county, saying that the situation is increasingly degrading the status of doctors.
Solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. The county has even refused to recognize the medical specialists that it sends out. We have medical specialists that the county has refused to recognize as medical specialists. So they are being poached, and all doctors, we are seeing serious attrition from Vihiga County, where the neighboring counties are poaching our doctors, and there's a deterioration in quality service delivery in this county. We sat a meeting last week and we decided that we want to meet the governor to address these issues that we consider very critical in terms of delivery of quality health care services in this county. But there's serious frustration amongst us because it was confirmed that we are going to have this meeting today in the governor's boardroom. Services have been interrupted as we've stayed here from 11 a.m. as per the confirmation of our meeting, but we've not been able to see the governor. So, because of that, we have decided that having been told that the governor is away addressing other matters that now are more important because he cannot meet us, that we are going to issue a 7-day strike notice.
From Vihiga County to Malindi, where residents of that area who will be found dumping waste in undesignated areas shall be arrested and prosecuted beginning next month. The move comes after Malindi Municipal Manager Johnson Mwabati said that, or rather announced that they have already acquired litter bins, which will be installed in specific areas within the CBD and trading centers. Speaking during the monthly cleanup exercise organized by Progress Welfare Association of Malindi area, the manager said law enforcement officers will arrest anyone found littering in undesignated areas. He said they are currently waiting for the governor to give a directive and launch the litter bins at the end of this month, after which they will begin installing them.
Our enforcement officers watakuwa wako very alert kuhakikisha kwamba ukipatikana unarusha takataka kiholela, then mkondo wa sheria utakushika. Kwa hivyo let us be very careful because immediately tukiinstall bins zetu tutakuwa tutahakikisha kwamba wenye biashara wote wanahakikisha kwamba mbele ya duka lake ameweka dustbin, na wewe kama mwananchi ukishikwa ama ukipatikana unarusha takataka mahali popote ambapo hapastahili, basi utashikwa na mkondo wa sheria utachukua mahali pake. Kwa hivyo I want to use our stakeholders to be very vigilant na mwe very careful, kwa sababu hatutaki mujipate kwa mkondo wa sheria ambao hautakuwa na kufeva hata kidogo. Kwa hivyo let us be very careful as we clean our town. We make sure that tuna synthesize our communities, tuhakikishe kwamba wanaboresha usafi. So as we walk tukisafisha mji wetu, let's synthesize the neighborhood na wale wote ambao tutakuwa wanaishi katika hii mazingira ambayo tunafanya usafi.
And on to the tourism sector, where the Cabinet Secretary for Tourism and Wildlife, Dr. Alfred Mutua, has urged players in the tourism industry and aviation industry to open up routes in a bid to increase connectivity in the continent, which will increase the number of tourist visits in Africa. Speaking during the launch of the 3-day East African Regional Tourism Expo in KICC, he said that he will diversify the tourism sector by promoting lesser-known destinations to grow the country economically.
Why are we practicing tourism? It's all about money. So it's all about show me the money. If you don't remember anything from my speech, just remember those 3 words: show me the money. It's all about where do we get the money and how do we get the money into our pockets, because tourism is about growing the economy, as my brother from South Sudan has put it. The conversation I want to have today, and this is a talk we've had with the president, is we need to think about why aren't people coming to our continent? Why aren't our people coming to our region? You know, what is happening and what we need to do to tweak it. The first one, obviously, there is the talk about connectivity. When I visited the Air Rwanda stand, they talked about if they can get Rwanda Airlines to be allowed to fly from Kigali to land in Mombasa. Connectivity. We make it so difficult for people to connect. We don't have good connectivity in our continent, or people getting to our continent becomes a big problem. So we need to fix our connectivity. And I call upon players in the industry, in aviation industry. If you have money and you want a business to go into, that's the industry to go into right now, aviation industry. And then connect this continent.
Right, and private health facilities have been urged to work with community health volunteers, CHVs, in realizing universal health coverage. This is according to various stakeholders in Laikipia who spoke during a free medical checkup and treatment, an exercise organized by Mount Kenya Colleges and University Association in collaboration with private hospitals and the county government of Laikipia to adhere to the President's call of universal health coverage to all. While addressing the media, Dr. Bernard Karanjan noted that efforts made by the government in matters of health, saying that in order to achieve this, the communities living in slum areas must be well informed and health facilities brought next to them, as many live in poverty.
And we're also taking notes of anything that is arising, anything in collaboration with the community health volunteers. They are able to know zile shida ambazo wale watu around here are basically mostly suffering from. And with this we hope to find a solution together with the private and public partnership, together with all other stakeholders including the Ministry of Health. Together we can be able to at least know our people around here, what they basically need in terms of in matters health.
We all know that in such villages, people are very reluctant to seek medical care unless it is at the doorstep, as we have done today here for the medical camp. So when they come to us, we are able to assess, we are able to listen to them, and we are able to know some of the things that might be happening at the background. And so we are able to make even early diagnosis and refer early enough. So that's why we are basically here, and also to support what the government is trying to do in achieving universal health coverage.
Wakaaji wa estate hii yetu ya Maina, tuangalie sana kwa upande wa usafi. Tuwe tukitumia boma zetu vizuri, kutupa takataka hovyo hovyo tuchuge sana.
The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is conducting an inspection of public assets that were seized in Mombasa County and have now been returned to their rightful owners. Twalib Mbarak, the Chief Executive Officer of the Anti-Corruption Commission, has led the operation and has addressed current issues related to corruption in the country.
As an investigator, investigation is not going through to sensationalize something. As something is being covered by the media, blame game and whatever, we at the back are doing our background to get facts. Until you get facts, you cannot have a case, solid case, to go and take either to the DPP or if it is a civil suit. So as at now, that issue is captured in the media. We are monitoring, and we are looking if there is a case for us to start investigating. So many times we just don't go because something has been hyped by the media. We look at facts, because when you investigate a case and you take to the DPP, you are intending to. So it's a good issue. The only thing that it tells you about the government and the opposition talking about the issue, it tells you one thing, that the country is becoming more accountable. People are put to task on what they do, whether it is opposition or the government. So as for now, we are monitoring the situation. We are yet to make a decision whether we shall go on full investigation or not. The second question.
And in the world of sports, Harambee Stars head coach Engin Firat has praised his team's performance after the team registered a 5-0 win against Seychelles in the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. The captain, Michael Olunga, bagged 2 quick-fire goals, where other players, propelling Harambee Stars into an early advantage as Masood Juma, Rooney Onyango and Benson Omala both scored to seal the resounding 5-0 victory in the 73rd minute. Firat has also called upon the fans to believe and be patient with the squad.
The good part is now for all who think Seychelles is so simple, I will remind that this Seychelles played in the last years always some draws against South Africa and so on. So therefore, I'm sure some teams will leave also points against Seychelles. So we have now 5 goals also on their side. Maybe this goals helps for the future. But I'm quite sure about this team. And this team is sure about themselves. Everybody understands what is going on. And I think Kenyan football has now a bright future. I think we passed well, we used these sites well. The only disappointing point for me is that we could have today a historical result. So we had so many goal chances, and this was the only point where I can say about this match today that I'm not really happy about it. But in the end, you see what I said from the beginning about this group. You never know what happens in the next moment. For many people, Gambia with their very good squad was one of the favorite. Now they start with 2 games with 0 points. And I think if we continue like this, and in June, when we'll have all our players back, hopefully, and we will have time to prepare in March for the June matches, because then people should also not forget that we are the only team who played 2 matches away. All teams had minimum 1 home match. We played 2 away. So therefore we are very good in the race, even if we start with a lose. And I think in June, these 2 matches home against Burundi and Cote d'Ivoire can us put in a very good position.
Right, the semi-finals of the Alan Chesang Super Cup League will be played this week ahead of Saturday's final. Now, the league, which began on October 9th, has attracted over 9,000 players who have been drawn from 450 teams in the country or in the county, contesting for the 2.5 million cash prize. Focus has now shifted to the semi-finals, which will take place in the course of the week, while finals will be on Saturday, November 25th at the Kitale National Polytechnic in Trans Nzoia, Kitale. The Chesang Super League aims at uniting youth while addressing crime, nurturing talents, and curbing drug and substance abuse.
Vijana tumekuja, yani wengi wetu, unajua wengi wetu wengine wakama nyumbani, wengine wanafanya mambo yenye si poa. Tunashukuru Mwesh kwa kutuunganisha pamoja kwa hii game. Wacha tu atuendelee kutushikilia pamoja kama wachezaji. So
the purpose for this tournament, of course, is to keep our youths busy, unite our youths, because tumeona shida katika kaunti zingine mbalimbali, shida ya vita. This being a cosmopolitan county, we've decided to use this kind of initiative like games.
Kama sisi ladies miaka zile za pale nyuma hatujakuwa tukiangaliwa, lakini so far saizi tunaangaliwa kwa hizi mechi, hata si tumecheza.